This happened last fall. I booked myself a little solo getaway at a very old hotel. One that calls itself historic, but really it's just falling apart. It just seemed so damn interesting to me at the time, almost like it was meant to be. It had a story for every room and a ghost for every story. At least that's what the website said. This hotel had absolutely leaned into its reputation. There were framed newspaper clippings about tragedies on the lobby walls, and a little display case with haunted artifacts guests had supposedly left behind. A sign by the elevator listing known hotspots for paranormal activity. Someone had even circled the floor I was staying on with a little smiley face. Cute. I checked in, dropped my bag on the bed, and told myself this was all for fun. Creepy fun, sure, but still fun. Down at the front desk, they mentioned a ghost tour and a late-night seance in one of the original ballrooms. And because I have apparently never seen a horror movie in my life, I said, "Oh, that sounds cool, sign me up." The ballroom they used was not the fancy one with the huge chandeliers and wedding pictures in the brochures. It was a smaller one on the second floor, tucked away in the back of a long hallway that seemed older than the rest of the hotel. The lights were off, heavy curtains shut, a round table sat in the middle with about 6 chairs around it, candles in the center. The medium introduced herself, Madam something or other. Middle-aged, calm, no dramatic cape or smoky makeup. She said, "Please remember, we are guests tonight. Do not taunt, do not demand, and do not invite anything to follow you back to your room." Then she looked around the table, and for half a second her eyes landed on me like she recognized something. "You may regret it." We joined hands, the candles flickered and painted the walls with those jumpy crawling shadows. You could hear the hotel humming around us. The muffled thump of footsteps in other halls, a door somewhere, the distant ding of an elevator. That was kind of creepy. Then, even all of that faded, and all that was left was our breathing. The medium closed her eyes. "If anyone is with us tonight, if you remember this hotel when it was new, you are welcome at this table. You may knock, you may move something, you may let us know you are here." At first, nothing. Just 6 strangers pretending not to be nervous. Then the temperature dipped. Not a small draft, it was like someone had opened a freezer door behind my chair. The back of my neck prickled with goosebumps. A second later, it came. 3 slow, heavy knocks from the wall behind me. Everyone jumped. The guide said way too fast, "Did everyone hear that?" We all agreed we definitely had. The medium leaned toward the center of the table and spoke to the empty air. "Thank you. Could you do that again, please?" And it did. 3 slow knocks, closer, lower, like someone's knuckles on the underside of the table. What the F, I thought. We settled on a system. 1 knock for yes, 2 for no. We asked if it had worked at the hotel. 1 knock. We asked if it had died there. 1 knock. We asked if it liked us being there. There was a long pause. The air felt thick, like the room was holding its breath. Then finally, 1 knock. Someone gave a shaky little laugh. The medium kept glancing at the empty space directly behind my chair. And I tried not to notice. As we went on, the pattern started to change. The knocks came more often, the answers got faster, and it was like it was getting used to our questions, or maybe just bored of them. The medium's voice got tighter as the seance ended. "All right, you may not attach yourself to anyone here. You may not enter their rooms. You stay in the spaces that belong to you." The cold did not move. If anything, it pressed closer. We wrapped up the seance. She did a short closing prayer, said something about boundaries and light, thanked whatever we had been talking to, and blew out the candles. As soon as the last flame went out, the cold behind me vanished, like someone had stepped back into the dark. I told myself that was it. A creepy story to tell later, nothing more. The walk back to my room should have taken maybe 2 minutes. The hallway outside the ballroom was empty. I could hear my own breathing, the soft buzz of the exit sign, the ice machine humming way down by the far wall, and I walked towards the elevator. About halfway there, the air changed. You know that feeling when you can tell someone is behind you without actually hearing them? Your body knows before your brain does. The hair on my arms rose. My shoulders felt crowded, like there wasn't quite enough space in my own skin. I told myself not to look. I looked anyway. Nothing. Empty hallway, just me. But the feeling did not go away. If anything, it followed me into the elevator. When I stepped into my room, the first thing I noticed was the smell. The ballroom had smelled like candle wax and old perfume. But underneath that, there was this dry, bitter scent, like very strong pipe smoke. That same smell was waiting in my room, thick and stale, sitting in the air like somebody had just taken a long drag and blown it out in the dark. I checked the window, it was closed. I checked the bathroom, empty. I even checked under the bed, which I never do. Nothing. I opened my bag, turned on the TV, and tried to act normal. It felt like being watched by someone standing just outside the edge of the light. That night I barely slept. Every time I started to drift off, something yanked me back awake. The click of the bathroom light, even though it was still dark. The soft rattle of hangers in the closet. The sound of fabric shifting in the empty armchair by the window. Sometime after midnight, I heard it. 3 slow knocks. Not on the door, on the headboard of my bed. I froze. My eyes were wide open, staring into the dark. I did not move. I don't even think I was breathing. The room stayed quiet for a full minute. Then right by my ear, I heard the faintest scrape, like dry fingers sliding over wood. I turned on every light I could reach and left them on until morning. I woke up feeling like I had not slept at all. My stomach was in knots, my head pounded, and I felt weak and shaky like I was coming down with the flu. I told myself it was just nerves or maybe something I ate. Then I opened the bathroom door. There, on a fogged-up mirror from my quick shower, were 3 long vertical streaks. Not finger width, thin, too thin, from high up all the way down. I wiped the mirror and they vanished. I watched to see if they would reappear. They didn't. So I did the most human thing possible. I got dressed and went down for breakfast like nothing was wrong. At the restaurant, the waiter took one look at me and said, "Rough night?" I joked about not sleeping well in hotels. He shrugged and said, "Yeah, people say this place gets to them. You're not the first to look like that after your first night." He walked away before I could ask what he meant by gets to them. All day, I felt off. My stomach stayed twisted. My skin felt too tight. Every reflective surface caught my eye. In the elevator, I watched my own reflection in the mirror. For half a second, as the doors closed, I thought I saw someone standing just behind my shoulder. A tall, thin shadow that did not match any shape in the actual elevator. When I spun around, nobody was there. By the time I went back up to my room that evening, my body felt heavy, like I was walking through deep water. I almost went to the front desk to ask for a different room. I should have. I didn't. Night 2 was worse. I left the lamps on again. I turned the TV volume way down so there was at least some noise as I lay in bed with my eyes closed. Not sleeping, just waiting. Around 1 a.m, the room went very quiet. It was already quiet, but this was different. The heater cut off and the tiny hum of the mini fridge faded. The sound of the TV faded out like it was far away. It was as if someone had muffled the whole world. Then the bed moved slowly. The mattress dipped by my legs. Not a little bounce, not like a pet jumping up. No, this was heavy. A steady weight pressing down, as if someone had sat on the edge of the bed and was turning to face me. My eyes flew open, and every instinct in me screamed to fight, to scream, to do something, but there was nothing there. I tossed and turned most of the night, not really sleeping much. Every sound had me jumping out of my skin. My imagination was getting the better of me. It must be, right? By morning, I was more than tired. I was sick. My skin looked gray in the bathroom mirror. My eyes were sunken. I went down to the front desk and tried to sound casual. Hey, weird question. Has anyone ever had strange things happen on the second floor, like in the older rooms? The woman behind the counter paused for a fraction of a second too long. Then she smiled like she was uncomfortable. These old buildings can be intense. Some folks are more sensitive. I told myself I would stay one more night, that I could handle it, that I was not going to let an empty room push me out. That last night, the hotel did not even pretend to be subtle. The smell of smoke was waiting when I opened the door, thick and sour, even though there was no source. The bathroom faucet turned itself on twice while I watched. The closet door, which clicked firmly shut, stood half open every time I blinked. And then the knocks came back. Headboard, wall by the bathroom, inside the closet. Around 3 a.m, the TV snapped off on its own. The lamps flickered and went dark, and the room plunged into full black. In that black, something moved toward the bed. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. The pressure in the air, the distant ringing in my ears, the cold sweeping over my legs, up my ribs, and settling over my face like fingers. The mattress dipped again, closer this time. Then a voice, right at my cheek, whispered one word. Stay. I do not remember falling asleep. I only remember the awful, heavy falling feeling, like being pulled underwater. When the alarm on my phone finally went off at 7, it felt like something snapped. The room was suddenly normal, light leaking around the curtains, heater humming, no smell of smoke, no pressure. Just me lying stiff on top of the covers, fully dressed, shoes on, and 3 long scratches running down my bare forearm. Not bleeding or deep, but red and perfectly straight. The exact same height as the streaks that had appeared on the bathroom mirror. I checked out as fast as I could. When I pushed my suitcase through the lobby doors and stepped outside, the air hit my lungs like I had been holding my breath all weekend. My stomach eased. The further I walked from the building, the lighter I felt. It was like crossing an invisible border. I did not look back until I reached my car. When I finally turned, the hotel sat there in the morning light, looking almost charming, old brick, pretty trim, windows winking in the sun. Somewhere inside, on the second floor, behind one of those panes of glass, a room waited, with its bed made and its closet door gently, patiently half open. I have never gone back.